Did you do the right thing? What would you do if you saw a crime and it was recorded on camera? Would you step up and say something? Well, our protagonist in today's story, James, failed to do so. Instead, he got paid off in hope that would be the end of it. But karma had other plans. This is the story of the chains of karma. It was a crisper morning on July 26, 2025, in the sleepy town of Willow Creek, nestled in the rolling hills of rural America. James Carter, a 34-year-old British expatriate, adjusted his yellow hard hat as he trudged toward the construction site. With his sturdy build and calloused hands, he was a familiar figure among the crew, having moved to the States 5 years ago seeking a better life. The pay was decent, and the quiet town suited his reserved nature. But that day, everything changed. As James hauled a bag of tools toward the site, he heard a muffled scream from an alley nearby. Curiosity piqued. He peeked around the corner and froze. Two-man Victor, a burly figure with a tattooed arm, and Marcus, a wiry man with a menacing grin, were attacking an older man in a suit. The victim struggled, blood staining his white shirt, as Victor held a knife to his throat. Within moments, the man went limp, and the robbers rifled through his pockets, stuffing cash and a wallet into a bag. James's heart pounded. He should have run for help, but fear rooted him to the spot. Then, to his shock, Victor spotted him. "Oi!" Victor barked, his voice thick with a rough accent. "Keep your mouth shut or you're next! Take this and forget what you saw!" He tossed a wad of cash at James's feet. Trembling, James picked it up and nodded, his mind racing with excuses. The robbers vanished into the shadows, leaving the lifeless body behind. James didn't report the crime. The money, hundreds of dollars, burned a hole in his pocket, but it also ignited a gnawing guilt. He told himself it was self-preservation, that the police wouldn't believe him anyway. Yet, that night, the first dream came. In it, he stood in a fiery wasteland, chains clanking around his wrists. A man, his face obscured by blood, screamed as golden swords pierced his body. Beside him loomed a monstrous bull with gleaming horns, its eyes glowing with malice. The bull spoke in a deep, resonant voice. "You cannot escape the debt of silence." James awoke in a cold sweat. The image seared into his mind. Days turned into weeks, and the dreams grew more vivid. The man's face began to resemble the victim from the alley, his pleas echoing in James's ears. At work, he became distracted, dropping tools and earning sharp rebukes from his foreman. His girlfriend, Sarah, noticed his unease but couldn't coax the truth from him. "You're hiding something," she said one evening, her blue eyes searching his. James brushed her off, the cash now hidden in a shoebox under his bed. One stormy night, as thunder rumbled over Willow Creek, James heard a knock at his door. Opening it, he found no one, only a crumpled note fluttering in the wind. The handwriting was shaky, barely legible. "The house on Elm Street knows your sin. Seek the truth or be consumed." Heart racing, James recognized the address. The old Victorian house on Elm Street had been abandoned for decades, its windows boarded up and its gardens overgrown. Locals whispered it was haunted, a place where restless spirits lingered. Driven by a mix of dread and curiosity, James drove to the house the next day. The air felt heavy as he stepped inside, the floorboards creaking under his weight. Dust motes danced in the dim light, filtering through cracked shutters. In the parlor, he found an old photograph on the family portrait from the 1940s. The man in the center bore an uncanny resemblance to the victim from the alley. Turning it over, he read the inscription, "Thomas Hargrove, 1942. May justice find us all." A cold shiver ran down his spine. As he explored further, he discovered a hidden basement, its entrance concealed behind a bookshelf. Descending the rickety stairs, he entered a chamber lit by flickering candles. On the wall hung a painting identical to his dreams, a man chained, pierced by swords, with a bull-like demon standing guard. Below it, scratched into the stone, were the words, The debt of blood demands repayment. Suddenly, the air thickened and a shadowy figure materialized. It was Thomas Hargrove, his spectral form, translucent yet vivid. "You saw my death," he whispered, his voice a mournful wail. "You took their blood money and let my killers walk free. Now, the chains bind you too." James stumbled back, his mind reeling. "I didn't mean to," he stammered, but Thomas cut him off. "Intent matters not. The scales of karma weigh your silence." The room trembled as the bull from his dreams emerged, its horns glinting. "I am the keeper of debts," it rumbled. "For every sin unconfessed, a wound is carved. Confess, or join him in eternal fire." Terror gripped James, but a spark of resolve flickered within. He thought of Sarah, of the life he could lose, and the guilt that had eaten at him for weeks. "I'll go to the police," he choked out. "I'll tell them everything." The bull's eyes narrowed, but Thomas's ghost nodded. "Then seek redemption," he said, fading into mist. The basement fell silent, the candles extinguishing as if by an unseen breath. The next morning, James walked into the Willow Creek police station, his hands trembling as he handed over the cash and recounted the murder. Victor and Marcus were arrested within days, their trail uncovered by James's testimony. The town buzzed with the news, and Sarah embraced him, tears in her eyes. "I'm proud of you," she whispered. The dream stopped, the bull and the chains receding into memory. Yet James couldn't shake the feeling that something lingered. One night, as he sat by the fireplace, he noticed a faint scratch on his wrist marked like a chain link. It faded by morning, but the lesson remained etched in his soul. Do you think James did the right thing in the end? Was the chain a sign of karma or just a figment of his imagination? You decide in the comments below. Now, here's another story that might make you question reality. The Hitchhiker Who Walked Forward. Click here to listen and don't forget to subscribe for more captivating tales. Thanks for listening. Until next time, may your paths be filled with light and your choices lead to peace.